Hi guys, welcome to the part 8 of Only Elevators. And if you can remember, we have finalized our class blueprint for elevator, and we have also got the class level blueprint one as well. So we do have both, and both class blueprint elevator and level blueprint elevator are referring to these actor points. Um, yeah, these actors to get their elevation. So that is the basic thing that we have completed, and still we don't have any options to go to the preferred flow. We are getting there, but before that, in part 7 I promised you that we are going to create a HUD and HUD or heads up display UI to put Q and E key instructions to instructions to the player when they are uh, inside the elevator. So basically, when player goes inside the elevator, in heads up display or in UI, it shows that you can use Q and E to go upward or downward. So that is what we are going to do today. And if you can remember, we had this underscore game folder as the main folder, and it had this systems folder, and it has this elevator system folder. That is where we got our all the files related to elevator, the static mesh, and the blueprint class. And since now we are going to make our heads up display, and it relates to all the game, right? So heads up display is the one UI that is yeah, that is always on top of the game, always on top of the gameplay, uh, and therefore we have to use this heads up display or HUD UI for everything, right? Not only for elevators, we can show health, we can show a number of coins or points we have, and we can show our stamina, we can show our inventory stuff, or the equipment stuff. So whether we have this gun, and what is the number of ammo, so everything we have to share it with heads up display or UI. Therefore, we are going to have a folder called UI in this underscore game folder, or in the main project folder, right? So we are going to create a new folder called UI, and inside UI I'm going to create a user widget. And about user widgets, you can see that in this list there's this category called user interface, and there's this widget blueprint. So widget blueprint is a class blueprint, and it allows us to create user interface designs and add some logic into it. So if I create this one, you can see that I get this pick parent class window as we got in creating a class blueprint. So it asks it asks for a parent class. So the only parent class we can see is user widget. So it's pretty easy. Just select this user widget, and now you got the widget blueprint. Now if you double click and open it, you can see that this is the widget blueprint. And in widget blueprints we have main two tabs. First one is designer. It is where we design uh, our UI, or we implement visual elements for your UI. And there is this graph, and graph is for us to put some code or logic needs to uh, that needs to function the UI. So that's the basic thing. And you can see that the parent class is user widget. And if I show you something, this can only this can only this can also get from this class blueprint. Now if you can see, this is only a filtration. This is also a class blueprint. So if you go to the blueprint class and go to all classes, and if you search for widget, now you can see there's this category called visual, and inside that there is this root called widget. Like we had this object. So no, the visual thing is the root. The visual thing is the root, but it's uh, it's now you can see that when you consider object parent class, it has two parts. First one is actor component, and second one is visual. And all actor, pawn, character, player control, all the things are inside this actor component, but it has this visual part. So it has a 2D rendering environment with it. So that is the root for that. And if you go through it, you can see that there are these things called widget. So widget access Unreal Engine's feature that has provided us to create UI, that is UMG, Unreal Motion Graphics. So inside that we get this user widget. So if you remember, we picked up the parent class called user widget when creating this widget. So if you select this one and create widget, so it is the same thing as we created previously. So uh, the point I was making is widget blueprint is also a class blueprint. So that is why um, I told you that there are only two types of blueprints. First one is level blueprint, and other one is class blueprint. So level blueprint is the one which can't create or which can't reuse. So when you create a new level, it automatically comes with the level blueprint. But you will find there will be animation blueprints, there will be widget blueprints, there will be other blueprint types inside Unreal Engine apart from the main class blueprints that you are going to use, and those are also class blueprints, right? Those are just categorized one. These are just categories. uh, these are just categorized so that we can easily access them, but all these are derived from class blueprints. And widget blueprints are also a class blueprint that is derived from a object. So that is the basic that is the thing I wanted to show you. But yeah, now knowing that, you can also go to the blueprint class and select user widget and create a widget blueprint. But why we do that? When Unreal Engine filters it out, right? So we are going to use interface widget blueprint, and we pick this user widget. So it is the only thing, and it's a really easy choice. So we select that, and when we rename it, we use w underscore prefix. That means that stands for widget, and I'm going to rename it as w underscore HUD. So this will be the main UI that is that lays on top of the gameplay every time. Therefore, we double click and open it up, and now we see this empty canvas, right? So you can see that like components panel, we have this palette. So it has all the things we need to create a UI. So you can see there are buttons, checkboxes, images, and text, everything. Every element you need to create a user interface, right? These are not like components, but we can say these are components. More likely these are elements that you can create a UI. And we get this hierarchy. So hierarchy is the one which has different layers of UI. So if you have any experience with Figma, Photoshop, or any kind of uh, Illustrator softwares, Illustrator photo editing softwares, there is this layer kind of thing. So this is a little bit similar to that. This shows the hierarchy of the elements that we are using to build the user interface design. So that is that. So we have the details panels here and palette. So that is the basic difference in user interface. And we have two tabs as I mentioned before. And there's this graph. So this is the graph, and we can refer to elements in here in this graph and add some functionalities to it. So that is the basic idea, and we can just delete these default ones, right? And we are going to deal with the designer tab first, then let's get into the graph one. And if you are using Unreal Engine 4, you will see that there's this default default thing called canvas panel. So if you are using Unreal Engine 4, you will see when you open up a widget blueprint, you will see uh, it's like this. There is this border and this canvas panel as the root for the hierarchy. But in Unreal Engine 5, they have removed it because the Unreal Engine developers say that, not the Unreal Engine developers, yeah, developers of Unreal Engine says that the canvas panel is too expensive. So please minimize the usage of it. So we are not going to use this canvas panel as the traditional workflow. We are going to we are going for a um, much efficient way, right? So that is why we are not going to use canvas panel. So if you are using Unreal Engine 4, you just have to delete the canvas panel in there. And uh, and for the root, we are going to get this thing called overlay, right? What overlay does is, we can lay as many as possible layers on top of this overlay. And it's the speciality of our overlay element. Now if you can see, now it it has this border, and it covers the whole screen, right? And since this is the heads up display, there will be no background. So the background will be the gameplay, and we just have to put necessary elements. But to test it, but to test this out, I'm going to add a text, right? I'm going to search here as text, and I drag and drop this text. And to place this in the bottom of the screen, I just have to click this, and you can see that this is on the left top corner. Now to get it into the bottom center, I just have to go to this slot section, right? And there is this options called horizontal alignment and vertical alignment. Horizontally, I need this to be aligned to center, and for the vertical, I just need to align it to the bottom, right? But the thing is, I need to have some gap uh, between the text and the border, right? So to do that, I'm going to use this padding, right? So I just need to use these three, and just you can just expand this, and you can see that there are paddings. Or padding is kind of like a offset from the border, and I need a space from the bottom. Therefore, I'm going to put 100 pixels there, right? 100 pixels there. So it has this 100 pixels gap. And If you are wondering what resolution we are working on, you can see that in here it shows that this resolution 720p resolution, and it's 16 by 9 ratio. But the thing is, that is not the original scale, because if you go to the DPI scale, you can see that it is the it's the 0.67 0.67 scale of the original scale. So what is the original scale? If you drag this, you can see that if we um, drag this to the 1080p range, now you can see that it says now the display DPI scale is 1. That means we are we are now showing the original scale. Now if you type 100, that means vertical has 1080, right? Vertical height has 1080 pixels. Out of that 1080, you get 100 gap. That is the meaning of this 100, and it is not relative to that 720, right? That is the thing. And if you want to find or change the design resolution, you just have to go to this gear icon, click on that, and you will get this project settings tab, and there is this scale to fit rule. And if you expand this, you can see that design screen size is 1080p resolution, right? 1920 and 1080. So if you have this design UI design for 4K or 720p, and you need to grab those values inside this Unreal Engine when you are designing your UI, you just have to put that uh, resolution inside that, so that it will take these dimensions or scales relative to that resolution. So that is how this works. And I'm just going to select this text block, and now you can see that there's this section called text, and I'm going to put HUD as the text. And you can change the appearance in here. I'm going to the font, and I'm going to use the regular, not the regular, light one. This is the one I prefer. Okay, now if we play, it doesn't have in our screen. So to add this to our screen, we have to do some work in blueprints. It's a little bit simple thing, not complicated one, but yeah, it can yeah, the thing is, uh, it's not about the code we are uh, yeah, if I show you that, let's say where we can do that, where we can do this, right? How do we add this to our screen? So there are many places, there are many blueprints that we can use to place this code. And we have to select, we have to decide where should I place this code to create the UI and show it in the viewport, right? So that is the question you have to ask. So if you have gone through many other Unreal Engine tutorials, and you may have seen that different 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 YouTubers or different teachers, they are using different places. Some are using player controller, some are using HUD class, some are using level blueprint, and some are using player character. So there are different places that can be done, and there is no right or wrong in that, but you can think a think a bit logically, right? We have to place this one. So the thing is, um, yeah, let's see. Now we will use level blueprint at first, right? Now we will use level blueprint at first. If I can show you, we can go to the level blueprint, and let's go to the event graph, and I'm going to use the event begin play. So I'm getting some space, and now what I want to do is, we have this uh, blueprint node called create widget. So we create this one, and if I select this class, we have this WHUD. So it is the UI that we have created. So we need to add this into our screen. So if I connect that here and play, nothing happens, because this is just creating a reference. This is just creating a reference of the heads up display or the UI that we want to show. This is just outputs the reference, right? This is the reference we get, same as how we get these references, right? We drag these actors from the level, and it gives us the reference to do with something. And now it is the same for this. Now we have this node, and now we have a reference to this blueprint. So this is about blueprint communication. So level blueprint communicates with the HUD to get its data, right? That is the basic idea of creating a widget, but it's not adding the widget to viewport. To do that, we just have to tell that, okay, now I have connected with you, please add to viewport. There is this option to add to viewport. If you click on that, you can get this node, and now it has this reference, and it is adding to the viewport. So it is that easy. Compile, save, and play. Now you can see this is the HUD. Now if you have, yeah, let's see, if you want to add an image here, I will select an image here, uh, UE, yeah, there's this Unreal Engine logo as default, and if I need to adjust the image size, so I'm going to divide it by 10. Okay, and if I need a padding, left padding is 50, top padding is 50, so it has this offset from the left and top by 50. And then if you play, now you can see the Unreal Engine logo is here. So the thing is, now the heads up display is on the screen. So that is the thing. But now let's say you have multiple levels in your game, right? You have multiple levels in your game, and you need this heads up display to be in all those levels. To do that, we just have to put this code inside every level blueprint. Inside every level blueprint, because this disappears when you go to the when you go to a new level. When you go to a new level, this won't be there because a level blueprint is specified for a level. This is only showing for the third person map. But if you are creating a new level, it won't be there, right? That is why we are not going to use it here. We can use it here if you want this UI only to be in that particular level. That is the idea, right? So where we can do that, the best thing we have to put this code is the player character or the player controller, because when you go to each and every level which has a gameplay, it has this player character. You are playing using that character, right? You are playing with that character uh, in every game. So let's think about a case where you have, let's think about a game like GTA, right? So you know that GTA kind of have these different characters. So you are not playing with the same character. The character can be changed, but the UI stays the same, right? UI stays the same, but the character changes. In that kind of case, we are not going to implement this code inside the character blueprint, because if we implement this inside character blueprint, we have to do it for every character blueprint. We have three characters and we have to paste this in, copy and paste this in those three characters. It can be done, it's not much hard work, but the logical thing is to do the player controller is there every time, because player controller is the one, even if we have many characters, the player controller is the one who are delivering the inputs to each of those characters. So player controller is not changing even though the characters are changing. For that reason, we can use player controller to have this code. Or if you have only one character in your game, you can just use this code inside your character. As we don't have any other characters at the moment, I am just going to uh, get this code and place that in our player character. So there's this third person blueprint, go inside that, and this is our third person character blueprint, and there's this event begin play. After all those things, I'm just going to paste our code and place it here. And now if you play, you can see that now our HUD is there. There's not a much difference, but if I show you something, let's create a new level. Let's create a new level. If you create a new level in here, uh, you just don't get this window. That is why all I'm going from here, new level, select this basic one, create, and now you have this. And if you play, now you can see that the our HUD is in here, right? Our HUD is in here because it comes with our player character, not with the level blueprint. And I guess you get the point. Okay, now it's about that. um, and now what I should do is, so this is the HUD, and now we have to get back into our third person map. All right, now we have to create this Q and E part. Now we can do this like that. um, yeah, since we don't have any textures, I'm going to do this in the hard way, right? I'm just going to get a vertical box, right? Get a vertical box. So vertical box is a widget that allows us to place many widgets vertically, right? So we get the vertical box, and you can see it's empty. It doesn't have anything, and I'm going to add a image, and it will be 32 by 32, but I think we can go for 50 by 50, 50 by 50, and I'm going to change its color to this color, our comment color, or you can use any of the color. And now I need EOQ letter on this box, right? To do that, I'm just going to get a text here and type Q, and yeah, and type Q, and I just need this vertical and horizontal align to me in the center, right? But the thing is, now you can see that these are vertically aligned. These are vertically aligned because we have put this image and the letter inside this vertical box. But I just want to have this Q letter on this image. So how do we do that? What we have to do is we are going to right click on the image and go for the option called wrap and select overlay. That means now our image is a child of overlay element. And if you remember, overlay, what overlay does is overlay allows us to stack many of elements on top of them, right? On top of them. So I'm just going to drag and drop this text element onto the overlay, and now it's a child of overlay too. Now the thing is, image is in on the bottom, and the Q is on top of that. Now we get this item, right? Now we have this, and now what should we do is, now I want instruction, right? Now I want instruction. To do that, I also need an text and ascent elevate. So that is the basic, that is the wording I'm using. So you can use any word or instruction, go upward like that. So now if you can see, now the thing is it is just messed up, and I just want this text to be next to the this image, right? To do that, we need a horizontal box, right? To that, we need a horizontal box because we need those items to be horizontally aligned. Therefore, I am just going to right click on the overlay, wrap with, and there is this horizontal box, and I'm just going to drag and drop this ascent elevator on top of them. Now you get this next to the Q and image, and I'm just going to set the alignments to center, and I'm just going to give the typeface to light. Yeah, it's better. And I need some spacing between this uh, key and this text. To do that, we have this element called spacer. I'm just going to drag and drop the spacer in between them, and now I can define a size for the x direction about 10 pixels. Okay, now we have 10 pixels of space between these. So this is how it works. This is the key, this is the space, this is the ascent, or this is the instruction, and it is horizontally aligned, and we have this vertical box as well. So why we need a vertical box? Because we have another instruction. So I'm going to duplicate this horizontal box, and I get this, and I select this Q and replace it with E key, and instead of ascent I'm now putting descent elevate. Right, right. Okay, now we are good. Still we need a space in between them. Now we will have 5 pixels, maybe 10 pixels. Sorry, this is not x. We just have to give a value for the y. If you can expand, you can see this is y, and I'll give 10, or yeah, 5 will work. All right, now we have this instruction, and I'm just going to give a small size for the font for this instruction. Let's say 16, or 16 is good, I guess. Yeah, okay. And now we have this vertical box, and it contains all our instructions. Now it's really easy, and what I need to do is I just have to get it here. Now to position that, I'm just going to give it a bottom aligned, and now I have to give the paddings, right? It's 100 from the bottom, 50 from the left. It looks great. Now I don't need this placeholder text called HUD, because we have this. Now if you compile and play, now you can see that we have these instructions, uh, Q and E, right? Now the player knows, okay, I have to press Q, I have to press E to go downward, press Q to go upward. So that is how it works. But we just don't want this Q and E instruction to be in the HUD every time. So we have to enable, or we have to show it only when we are inside this um, elevate. So that is the thing we are going to do next, and yeah, we will do that in our next video. So stay tuned. Let's get back with the next video. Thank you guys. Let's wrap it. Let's wrap this, and meet you in the ninth part. Bye. Thanks, guys.